Hello, I'm Chris Williams, and I'm here with another review. This time we're going to be reviewing Uncanny X Men 16. It is a good comic, and I'll go into the cover right here. The cover is good. It shows Psylocke using her Psy knife on Wolverine. It is a good cover. The cover was done by Salvador Larocco as well as Rachel Rosenberg. They both turned in excellent work with this cover. I can see great detail on Wolverine's face, and he doesn't look like he's in so much pain as stunned from Psylocke's Psyblade entering his mind. Psylocke looks like she's putting in considerable effort neutralizing Wolverine. So this is a good cover, and I like it. Though they could have given it a background instead of just an orange haze. Now the first page is just, once again, we have another comic where it's just a black page with just text in the middle. This is just great. If it's not just them listing the artists and writers, it's them making pages like this. Marvel should be doing much better than this. Here we can see the real first page, and we're picking off where the last issue left off. Right just after the battle with the MLF, the Mutant Liberation Front, or Mutant Liberation Force, Cyclops is confronted with Captain America, and Captain America asks about Hope and Banshee after they're carting away the rest of the Melf. And he wants to know where those two have ended up. Cyclops denies having them or knowing where they are. Cyclops tells Captain America he doesn't really feel like an American anymore, and Captain America says he's sorry to hear that. Though Cyclops does say that he's turned over the other members of the Melf. Later on, Cyclops is questioned by the other X-Men. They're asking him about his leadership, and Cyclops responds that he has doubts about himself, but he has people like Wolverine and Alex, his brother, to help him. Here we see the Colonial Air Force Base in eastern Tunisia, and who are about to get surprise visitors by people we know quite well. Here we see two soldiers talking about it. When they see something off in the woods, something big, and something that's stomping its way towards them, and all they can say is, "Oh my God." We'll talk about a little more about this later on in the video when it comes up. But right now, for the artwork by Salvador Larocco is very good, because that is a very menacing shape, and if you know who this is, well, you know it's going to be good. Cyclops brings up again the fact that he has Wolverine who doesn't like him on his team because he wants Wolverine to keep coming up into his face to tell him when he's wrong. He has Alex backing him up, telling him that his brother will always be behind him, and he's glad about that. But what he wants now is for the X-Men to make their own decisions. He says that the Xavier dream has failed. With Xavier dead, they need to make new ways to bring the X-Men to accomplish his dream so that they can live in a more peaceful world. And we go back to that base, and what we find Juggernaut. Juggernaut and the rest of the Brotherhood of Mutants are attacking them. All the soldiers can do is try to fire back at them, but suddenly something seizes their weapons out of their hands. Who else could it be but the Master of Magnesium himself, Magneto? Magneto and the rest of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, Toad, Pyro, Avalanche, and Random, who are floating on a piece of metal that Magneto is levitating, all they can do is clap and get ready to start attacking the base. Well, Magneto looks suitably like the wrath of God, while he levitates the soldiers' weapons out of their grasps, and they all get ready to attack. Cyclops, meanwhile, says that all the X-Men should make their decision, and he says that they should all decide how they want to lead this. Diana Moonstar says, should we stay or should we go, or who do we elect as leader? So they elect that they should have no leader, and every situation that comes up, they'll just pick someone among them who's most suitable to lead them in that situation. And Ilyana Rasputin says that's a good idea, and she has a few ideas of her own. Meanwhile, Magneto and the Brotherhood are tearing apart this military base, and they are suitably making sure to leave a lesson for the humans that any mutant that is harmed will have to face a terrible judgment at Magneto's hands. He rips off the metal off of a door when suddenly he's plowed into the ground by a loud sonic scream from Banshee, and the X-Men are there to suitably confront him. We see Cyclops in his 90s costume. We see Wolverine in his brown and yellow costume. And we see Zombie Banshee off to the side while Hope is just behind him and the rest of the New Mutants as well. We flash back to where the X-Men were having their meeting. Wolverine and Cyclops were having a talk when Rain Sinclair Wolfsbane comes up to them. She says that she's tired of being a superhero. She wants to leave the X-Men for a while so she can live a normal life. She says she loves them all, but she'll see them all again soon, but she just wants some time to herself. Meanwhile, back at the battle, Wolverine attacks the Juggernaut, while the Multiple Man is harassing the Toad. And this is suitably funny action right here. Wolverine can't really do anything to Juggernaut, and it's fun seeing Multiple Man and the Toad. They're funny. This reminds me of the 90s X Factor. And this fight is going pretty well for the X-Men, but I can't say they'll hold out much longer, because they still have to deal with Magneto. Meanwhile, Avalanche is attacking the New Mutants, or at least Ilyana, Magic, and Sean Koi Mon, who goes by the codenamed Karma, while Ilyana is known as Magic. Magic teleports behind Avalanche, stabbing him with her magic sword. So he's most likely harmed, but not going to die of it. And this is really good artwork. I love this panel. Although this throws back to great stories I've read in the 90s. Meanwhile, Banshee is thrown for a loop when Juggernaut throws Wolverine at him by accident, but causing both of them to collide with Magneto, who is driven to the ground. He loses his helmet, and Karma tries to read his mind, but she finds out that this isn't Magneto. It's none other than the character we haven't seen for a while, but Magneto's illegitimate clone, Joseph. And Joseph says, yes, it is me. And that you have all he uses his magnetic powers to bind the X-Men, but Juggernaut ends up betraying him because he thought he was working for Magneto, not this pale imitation of him. And what happens is the X-Men then break out of the bonds Magneto just looped around them, and they take out the rest of the Brotherhood. Magneto is being confined by Juggernaut. He says Juggernaut says he hates being lied to, and he makes Joseph listen to the X-Men. And Joseph says that they should be doing something to protect their fellow mutants, but then Psylocke appears, and she does what Psylocke does. She is known as an assassin. But I won't spoil that in case you want to read this issue. Now, we go back to something that I mentioned earlier with Rain Sinclair. No sooner does Rain Sinclair leave the X-Men, but her friend Diana Moonstar, who shares a psychic report with Wolfsbane, feels something that has happened to her. And she mumbles to herself, no, it's not her. It's not her, it's Rain. Because the other X-Men thought Psylocke was doing something to Diana's mind, but it wasn't. Psylocke has telepathic powers, but she wasn't doing anything to Diana. Diana felt that Wolfsbane had been killed, and she falls down to the ground holding her stomach. Her best friend has now been killed, and she can feel her dying right now. And this is a truly terrible thing. Wolfsbane, Rain Sinclair, is one of my favorite X-Men. I hate to see her be killed off. But this issue was good. It wasn't a great issue, but it was a good issue. The X-Men are being written much better by Marvel. And I'll tell you this much. It is worth buying, I would say that. And I did enjoy it, but it is a decent issue. If you like this review, leave a like, subscribe, make sure you're still subscribed, and leave some comments down below. I'll be back again tomorrow with another review. I'll see you all then. Bye.